Well, a fantastic night at Shelbourne Park on Saturday for the final of the 2015 BoyleSports Irish Derby. 6 tremendous greyhounds in the field, one of the greatest finals we have seen in many, many years. And Farloe Blitz, the 5-4 favourite, but big money for plenty of the others. 3-1 Ballymac Matt. He's the main rival in the betting market. Huge crowd. Every spot is taken up here at Shelbourne Park. The bookies are doing fabulous business down below, and it really promises to be a fantastic race. So now the runners on parade for this final of the BoyleSports Irish Derby, and in trap one is Farloe Blitz. One of 2 runners for Paul Ellis and Owen McKenna. He was favoured for the English Derby final. Flying early pacer, this fella, a son of Premier Fantasy and Final Oyster. He's currently the 5-4 favourite. In 2 we have the big finisher, Cable Bay, owned and trained by Brendan Matthews and Uri, son of Foley's Folly and Tom's Delight, and he won the Kirby Memorial at Limerick early in the year, and he's available at 6-1 in the ring. In 3 then, Ballymac Matt, brilliant performer, trained by Liam Dowling, owned by the Ballymac Kelly and the Lads Syndicate, son of Tara Big Mike and Ballymac Scarlet. Big finisher, but he's flying from traps during the Derby here, and he is in here with a real chance of winning this top prize. And now in trap 4 we have Peregrine Falcon. First dog ever owned by Pat O'Brien, the son of Aesai Rumble and Minefield. He was unbeaten in his first 4 runs here in the Derby. 5 is Gaytime Hawk, fastest in the semi-finals and the quarter-finals. Trained by Graham Holland for Deirdre O'Connell, a son of Westmeath Hawk and Gaytime Grady. He's really come into top form. He can run from inside, outside, and makes no matter what. He's normally a flying starter. And then in 6 is Farloe Rumble, the inexperienced greyhound, younger half-brother to Farloe Blitz, trained by Owen McKenna for Paul Ellis, son of Aesai Rumble and Final Oyster. We haven't seen the best of this fella yet, but he's a star of the future. Could it be that he'll be the star of tonight also? Now folks, they're all in for the final of the BoyleSports Irish Derby. The roar rises. In 1 we have Farloe Blitz, 2 is Cable Bay, number 3 Ballymac Matt, then comes Peregrine Falcon, 5 Gaytime Hawk and 6 Farloe Rumble. The hare coming up behind traps. And away they go. The Blitz is out fast from 1, so is Ballymac Matt from 3. Then comes 4 Peregrine Falcon and 5 Gaytime Hawk. 1, 3, 4 and 5 around the bend. Blitz goes on by 3.5, 4 lengths into the back. Ballymac Matt is second and beginning to cut it down. It's Farloe Blitz out front, but Ballymac Matt is flying in second. Farloe Blitz leads by 1.5 lengths around the third bend. Ballymac Matt is second. Farloe Rumble is in third and challenging for second, coming to the line. And Ballymac Matt comes through to win it from 1 Farloe Blitz and 6 Farloe Rumble. But Ballymac Matt has won the final of the 2015 BoyleSports Irish Derby in a time of 29.63 for trainer Liam Dowling and the owners, the Ballymac Kelly and the Lads Syndicate. Fantastic race, brilliant performance. Full credit to Farloe Blitz and Farloe Rumble, ran magic races, but Ballymac Matt, the superior dog on the night. So the result of the BoyleSports Irish Derby. The winner, number 3, Ballymac Matt, trained by Liam Dowling for the Ballymac Kelly and the Lads Syndicate, winning in 29.63. Second was number 1, Farloe Blitz, and third is younger half-brother, Farloe Rumble. Well now folks, let's have another look back at that fantastic race for the 2015 Irish Derby. Here now coming up behind traps. Farloe Blitz in 1, Ballymac Matt in 3. Just watch Farloe Rumble out in 6, because he was a principal in this. He walked slowly. So did 2 Cable Bay, but it's Farloe Blitz in front, and just over a length and a half to the corner. This is a replica of last week's semi-finals. Ballymac Matt in second, 3.5 lengths between them into the back. Now 6 Farloe Rumble has tracked magnificently around the corner to get into third ahead of Peregrine Falcon. But down to the bottom bend, and Farloe Blitz being challenged by 3 Ballymac Matt, and now Farloe Rumble arrived on the scene. He tried to go between them, but no way between them. And Ballymac Matt accelerates coming home. He's the stronger stayer on the night. He takes it by 3 parts of a length from Farloe Blitz and 3 parts of a length to Farloe Rumble in third. Fantastic race, folks. And well, we have a great winner and a great second and third.
Liam, you came close to the summit in previous years. Tonight you've reached the peak. You've stamped the flag is there. It's posted at the top of the summit. How does it feel?
just feels, I once said it's a weight off my shoulders, but it's something that I always wanted to achieve, and tonight we've done it. I think with a very young dog, a great dog, I think, and a dog that probably will improve for next year, I think, myself.
It's safe to say from the early stages you really thought an awful lot of this dog. I know he had a big reputation down in Tralee. It was the night he came to Shelbourne Park, I think it was May, he did a 29-30 odd run. It was absolutely sensational to the eye. I think you knew then this is the place he wants to be.
Yeah, we had him at the juvenile in Tralee, and to be fair, he never sparked there. He just got into trouble, missed his break, running into dogs, but we took him from there. We gave him a trial in Cork. He did 28-28. He went to first round of Laurels. He won in 28-20 something. Got into a bit of trouble in the second round, went out of it, brought him here, gave him a trial. I think he did 28 odd again. Brought him his first race, and that was the race. Well, the people here knew, but I knew that what we had all along. But he's just, he did 29, won in 29-38. It was a super run, and went to the Guinness 600. I gave him the Guinness 600 to give the dog a little confidence back. To be fair about it, that's what I thought. I knew he was stay, but people were saying to me that I'll kill him. He was just a bit too young, but I felt that he'd get to know the track, he'd get a run at most dogs because he had more early takeaway than 600-yard dogs, and I think he did the dog in power good,
Well, it's been the most enthralling 6-week journey through this BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby, and we've seen a thoroughly fitting and I suppose justified winner in the finish. Ballymac Matt was the star of the early rounds, Kevin. Tonight, he got checked up at the third bend, still came from behind a beat. A heartbroken Farloe Blitz, I'm sure, and his connections, but he was a good winner.
Oh, it was a brilliant final, and John Boyle, the sponsor, to hear him come up to me after the final and nearly the first words out of his mouth was going, that was the best or the greatest Derby final he's ever witnessed, and that's what you ask for. There was one hard luck story, of course, Cable Bay just completely missing the kick, but everything got a chance, and the best dog on the night won. Farloe Blitz done everything right, trapped well, made it to the front, cut off Ballymac Matt slightly at the third bend, and just sort of ran out of steam. Farloe Rumble, a massive run in behind. He's going to be a dog to watch out for next year. We've said on this programme a number of times, when will the penny drop? And credit to Owen, he got the penny to drop on the night, just found one too good. But Liam Dowling, I'm delighted to see him winning. And Ballymac Vic done everything bar win a Derby. It's hard to believe that the Ballymac Liam Dowling has never won this Derby, and really we talked about people deserving it. The Dowling family deserved this win, and things come to good people when they wait, and that's been justified tonight. Look, I think the best dog on the night won, and I think it was a brilliant final as well.
Scared to think he's only July 13. Like, this dog he's not long gone 2 years of age. We have him next year. We're going to look forward to seeing him, perhaps at his peak next year. That's a scary thought.
It is, but look at the crop of dogs we have this side of the pond at the moment. Like, not bigging him up, but JT Jet in the Constellation, another young dog. Farloe Rumble running a massive race there tonight, and he hasn't been right throughout the Derby, in my opinion. Likes of those dogs, and the Puppy Derby on at the moment. We saw that in Harless Cross last night. We just have a brilliant crop of dogs, and of course BoyleSports sponsoring the Derby next year, and who knows, it could even be a better final next year. But listen, we have to live in the moment, and Ballymac Matt, whether he be a July 13 or whatever he is, and looking forward to next year, he's this year's Derby winner, and if he tops that next year, he'll be going very, very well.
Of course, Liam Dowling has never been afraid to travel with the dogs. I'm sure this dog may even take in Wimbledon again next year. We'll see. He's of course half owned by a crowd from the UK, and they're certainly enjoying tonight, but Wimbledon did get a mention already. Yeah,
look, if they want to go, more power to them. I don't think he ran the track great myself this year. I know he was a young dog, inexperienced. He wouldn't strike me as a Wimbledon dog, but look, credit to Liam Dowling. He lives by the statement that we all love to hear: "Got dog will travel," and he's a sportsman, and he'll want to compete against the best. You won't see him thrown away or hidden away. He might take a break now. He was tired after the 600. The Dowlings openly admitted that, but the Shrewdies that they are, they got him to produce his best when it mattered most. Look, as long as he comes back here next year, I'll be delighted, because this was a spectacle, and with the dogs we have at the moment over here, it looks as though next year could even top it. So if they go to Wimbledon, I'll be cheering him on, of course, along with all the Irish dogs. I'll be a little bit sceptical though. I just don't think he's naturally a Wimbledon dog. I think Shelbourne Park's his track.
Of course, Farloe Blitz will be in Wimbledon, and he is a Wimbledon dog.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, you'd want to have a heart of stone to begrudge Farloe Blitz any success. To think the dog hasn't won a final yet is crazy. Superstar, lost nothing in defeat, in my opinion. He's been thereabouts. He was narrowly defeated by Gaytime Hawk earlier in the rounds. He was narrowly pipped tonight. Other than that, he was 100% every night. He pinged out. He gave his best. Everyone ran him with credit. You have to feel for Paul Ellis and Owen McKenna though, getting to another final with him and just not been good enough on tonight's performance. But look, he'll be back next year, I'm sure. He'll be back as strong as ever, and he's a great dog to look forward to.
He was the dog that sort of set up the Derby as a compelling viewing spectacle. He was the dog we knew was going to hit the front every night, and even in the final he ran his race. But again, as you say, it just wasn't the night for him. But again, Ballymac Matt, a great winner, and Liam already hinted that we might see him once again this year, November 14th, Night of Stars. The question is, he's qualified to race over 550 and 600. Where will they go with him?
I hope to go to the 550 because BoyleSports sponsored that as well. So it'll be a brilliant race. I'm sure there'll be a number of dogs lining up for those races. And he's probably, this is going to sound crazy, he's probably a better 600-yard dog than he is 550. That's not being disrespectful, dog. That's just saying it in my opinion. But look, he's a superstar. He can do it anywhere. He's got the early pace, not the blistering early pace, but still he was able to turn second in the Derby final behind one of the fastest starters we've ever had in the Derby. So he's got the early, he's won a competition over 600, he stays strong, the long run to the bend will suit. I hope he runs in the 550 just because we sponsor, but I'm sure Liam will fill us in the weeks to come. I think the dog will take a week or two now, and I think it'll come down to how the dog talks to Liam more so than anything else. He'll need a couple of weeks, I would imagine, just a bit of a rest.
Unfortunately, we're denied Lahill Blake this year, challenging or trying to recapture his Derby crown, but it looks like all going well, staying fit and well. We have a dog that could give it a real go next year in Ballymac Matt.
Yeah, of course. Look, it was highlighted last year for the Derby how good Blake was with the injury he had coming into the competition, and that's just caught up with him this year. Unfortunate, no question about that. He was a super dog, but Ballymac Matt seems to be made of stern stuff, and with those connections, I'd be backing him to be here next year. I'd be pretty confident he'll line up here next year for the Derby again.
And also back there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight.
Yeah, I met Liam. He said he'd meet me for one. I have a funny feeling it won't be just one though.
One dozen.
Yeah, well there he is just walking around behind us there. I'm sure he's licking his lips already.
Okay, well that's it. The 2015 BoyleSports Derby is no more. We've seen a brilliant winner in Ballymac Matt, but we've seen a tremendous competition from start to finish. We had a brilliant final, complete with 6 brilliant finalists, but most importantly, we got the right dog to win it. Ballymac Matt, he truly is a special Derby winner.